Today we're at Clayton Studios at the corner of Big Bend and Hoover in Richmond Heights, Missouri, 1126 South Big Bend. We're going to do a studio tour. Hey, and there's
how are you?
Michael Silverman, Dick Hewlett.
Hey there.
How you guys doing?
Good. All right. Welcome.
Yeah, that's fine. Because on the business.
All right.
Welcome to the lobby.
Well, maybe
Hey,
that's.
we can take a look at some.
Oh, wow, you got the Wall of Fame here?
Yeah. Pretty good, man. How are you? Here's one of 5 studios we have in here. This is Studio 2.
Studio 2. There's Keith. Hey, Keith.
There's Keith, the world famous Keith of Clayton Studios.
Hey there.
Mind if we pop in on you for a second?
Yeah, come on in. Getting ready to open up the session here.
What are you working on today?
I think this is a session for it's a training program.
Oh, cool. So we're in Studio 2. What's the equipment in here? What do you do in Studio 2?
Well, we have Pro Tools and all these buttons and knobs
Yeah, need those.
and CD players and microphones and
Oh yeah, let's take a look at the booth.
Most of the studios have some kind of an isolation booth. This is mostly for voiceovers, 1 or 2 people, interviews. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, and you can see into another room. What is that?
So you're looking into Studio 1.
And there's another studio on the other side. Oh, that's Studio 1.
Yeah,
We're in 2, looking into 1.
that's right.
Well, we're gonna let you go, Keith. I know
this
you're
is a
busy.
session we did yesterday
Yeah.
using music. This is the sound of your retirement portfolio. Sounds pretty good. You built a nice nest egg, but when you add the Delta investment team to your future, it sounds even better. You see, with Bob Hardcastle and the Delta
I recognize that
Investment
voice.
Services team fine-tuning your retirement
Keith,
goals,
you've been doing voiceover for quite some time in this city, haven't you?
Yeah, I got lucky.
You got lucky.
I got very lucky.
That's Keith on the voiceover.
You can trust for over
Very cool.
years.
Well, we're gonna mosey along here.
Okay, see you next time.
Thanks for letting us pop in.
To listen to your retirement dreams.
So that's Studio 2. Here is Studio 1, which is another way.
Hey, Chris. You mind us popping in on you?
I don't.
We're just doing a little tour. You working on anything?
Phone patch session coming up.
Oh, cool.
So we can interconnect all over the world with Source Connect is the new thing, and it's nice. We have Pro Tools, but it's nice we have old compressors and things always. So it's always a blend in the new and the old, right?
Gotcha.
Analog as well as digital.
You working on a commercial or a industrial?
I don't know. They haven't told me yet.
Oh, you're just here to push the buttons.
I'm here to push the buttons.
This is Chris Miller. Hey, Chris.
It's going.
He does some work here at Clayton Studios. Very cool.
Another isolation room here.
So this is the booth in Studio 2,
Right.
and you can see into Studio 1's booth. If you ever need some isolation in between these two, it looks like you've just done some new construction.
We just busted through the wall here. So this is still a construction zone. But for the first time in several decades, you could actually walk through that wall.
Studio 2 is connected here to Studio 4.
This is Studio 4. This is the biggest room in the building. Mostly for, bands, obviously, large bands, musical projects. So this end of the room is much more sound treated to make it, a close, sort of intimate sound.
Yeah.
And as you move that way, the ceiling gets higher and higher until we get to about 14-foot ceilings on the other end. And then we usually record drums down here, but sometimes other instruments that you want a lot of the natural acoustic sound in. Like you might do a flute here to pick up the room.
It's very live.
It's a very live part of the room.
Oh, you've got high ceiling. Wow.
Yeah, and so having really high ceilings is great for if you want to hear the room. And then as you move in the other direction, you don't hear the room, you hear the direct microphone, close miking of the instruments. And a lot of times you want both. You want really live drums with a really close mic piano, and then you blend them together, and you get a really nice three-dimensional sound. So,
Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about this piano?
so the piano is new. This is a Steinway Model D 9-foot concert grand, and this one's actually it used to live in Steinway Hall in New York. So this piano's been played by a lot of greats. We don't even know who, but you can assume everyone who's played at Steinway Hall in New York.
That's awesome.
For a long period of time, and then it came for sale through the St. Louis Steinway Gallery, and I bought it, and we did some work and added some nice things. It's got a new what's called a touch rail, which has made the action particularly good. Replaced dampers and all kinds of things, so it's really ready to go, and people are loving it. So
Can we hear you play a little something real quick?
sure.
This is a famous piano.
Yeah.
Bravo, man, that sounds great.
Yeah, I really like it. It's got some nice details too. That's with the lid closed, so you get a real kind of a darker sound.
You're right.
For a brighter sound, we open the lid. We have this Earthworks mic that we use for most of our piano recordings. It's got these little condensers in here, and what's nice is you can actually record the piano with a large group, with drums and everything, with the lid closed, so you get that sound at the inside of the piano without all the bleed from the drums.
Yeah.
But we use a variety of miking techniques, and you get different sounds.
Sure.
If you're doing something you want to sound very classical, you might want, distant mics for more of a hall sound and so on.
Right.
So, but yeah.
I got another question for
Sure.
you. I know that as a recording artist myself, that a lot of times the headphone mix is an issue, or
Right,
or it
right.
could,
Well,
it
these
could
are
really
new.
mess with you, or it could be
This is
great.
what studios are doing now for that, and I think these are great. These little units allow each person. So this is actually its own little station with an individual mix for each artist. So the pianist can listen and set the drum level, the bass level, their own piano level, the singer's level. So they can set their own mix right there next to them, and each person in the room can do that,
That's
which
cool.
is great. So
Let me take a look at this one. I'll get a better shot.
sure, yeah. So you can actually set each different instrument. These are all different channels. Some of them are in stereo pairs, which is nice. And as you pick one, you can change the level of just whatever it is, the bass guitar. Maybe you want more or less of that. So that really solves the whole headphone situation that people often have trouble with in studios, to have their own
individual mix.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So let's take a look at the control room in Studio
Sure.
4.
So this is all new. What used to be here, watch your step.
Okay.
What used to be here was one of those big old mixing boards like most studios have. And while those are great, now we have the option of pretty much unlimited tracks. We have Pro Tools right there at our fingertips, and it's all touch screen. And so you've got you can just add tracks, into the hundreds rather than being limited by anything. You can route anything to anything inside the computer. So, I really love doing it this way.
And you can move those faders just by touching them? Just right on?
Yeah, these they move
wow.
just like that, which is great. You can just put your fingers on just like a real mixer. But the routing is incredible. So let's say you have, whatever it is, you can pull up virtual versions of all the old gear. So you get all those virtual, you get all the analog equipment, but you have an unlimited number of devices. So, on a single channel, you might have, $50,000 worth of,
Wow.
analog equipment that say your bass guitar or your piano is running through your guitar, and now we can have it on every channel.
And and those are plugins, right?
So these are plugins, and they're perfect emulations of the real units that you find in the big studios. If you went to Abbey Road, you'd see the physical version.
They would look just like that.
But you have an unlimited number of them now, which is great. So that is so cool. If your computer processing is good enough, you can handle about $1 million worth of equipment essentially in the virtual realm that you would have needed. So it's I think a huge upgrade.
These monitors look.
These are fantastic
Pretty
monitors.
dandy.
The ATCs. These are new.
The ATC.
This is what, as I understand, Hans Zimmer and Snoop Dogg are using. So I think they're they sound great.
These are British, correct? I believe they are.
And in fact, we have these are the near field versions. We have the large midfield versions going into the new mastering room, which we'll take a look at later. The same ATCs, larger ones. And then we have the Yamaha HS8s, which are the new version of the NS10s that everyone always used.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the latest incarnation of those.
Those are all active? They all have their own power?
They're all active. Everything's
Right.
active, which is nice because you don't have loud power amps in the room. It's
Right.
real quiet in here, which is nice.
And you don't have to worry about the amps matching the speakers.
Exactly.
They're
That's
designed for those speakers, yeah.
That's actually my favorite thing about powered speakers is they're just they perfectly match.
Right.
Everything always works just great. And of course, these are there's subwoofers back behind here, just to reach the frequencies below 37 hertz.
Gotcha.
Which these both get down to.
It's a very comfortable room to mix in. I know I've done projects here.
Uh-huh.
Got a nice comfy couch there. You've got a couple of seats over here.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, that's where they used to keep the reel-to-reel multi-track machines in this little cubby.
Oh, is that right?
This little hole, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a little lounge.
Now people just chill out. Yeah. Because there's less physical equipment.
Exactly.
There's more space, so now we can stretch out. So it's,
You working on anything here? Or mixing
So this is
anything?
a track that we're writing for Simon Phillips, the drummer, and Eric Marienthal, saxophone player, will play solos on it. He's got it out. So this is what we have in the. So as you can see, I've got MIDI tracks going. So like that Kalimba sound. This is a soloed Kalimba, which is like a little thumb piano.
Yeah.
And then you've got drums up here.
And you got...
So you've got live drums here, but you've got MIDI tracks and virtual instruments playing right alongside, which is great. Sometimes I'll compose something at the computer with a keyboard, and then we'll do a whole piece with it, and I'll decide, instead of that electric piano, I want a real piano. I just go in there with the headphones and retrack it with the live Steinway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's great to have that mix of MIDI and audio together. And this big screen is just great. I don't have to put on my reading glasses for this.
Yeah.
And everybody in the room can see what's going on. As you're mixing, it's easy to work together. So I think this is where everybody's going to head eventually.
Yep.
It's the biggest possible monitor you can find.
Yeah. It's the monitor. It's the board. It's that's great, man.
Yeah. It's so simple.
It's
so logical.
It's everything's right there.
Yeah. So, and we still have tons of real analog preamps and things. People
Still have the analog gear.
Most of this is new. Some of it has been here this Vintech has been here for decades and has a great sound. But all these, I love the APIs. In fact, I think we're going to get tons more. There's 8 channels. There's 23 channels just in this rack you can plug into, and these are all really high-end preamps, which I you know,
Gotcha.
warms up the sound, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's Studio 4. We're walking. Here's the beautiful kitchen. Microwave, coffee machine.
it's all new. Yeah, we have the Keurig now. Everybody loves the Keurig.
Ooh, I'm going to get one of those on the way up.
Yeah.
So we're going to walk into the hallway. There's the duplication area and transfer station. Steve Moore works that, and he's coming in a little
You can
bit.
find that in an earlier episode.
Yeah, we have a whole nother video on the transfers, or a couple of videos.
Now here's a construction site. This will be,
Oh, wow.
in a short while, this will be a mastering room. Mastering is the last step in recording, where you take the finished mixes and combine them all into a CD and make everything. You put the last finishing touches on the CD.
Very cool.
So here you can see where there will be a wall here. There'll be speakers built into the walls, and there'll be an angled wall up here, and then the ceiling will have a slope to it, and there'll be lots of things going on here. So this is going to be a big project. It's just at the first stages now.
Is this going to be Studio, are you renaming it?
This
Studio
is
3
Studio 5. Actually.
Studio 5, okay.
Yeah, it actually has a new number. Yeah.
Gotcha. The new number, the mastering
That's right.
studio is Studio 5.
Right. Hey, Dick.
Oh, there's Studio 3.
Hello
So
again.
this is Studio 3,
Hey, I know that guy.
Hello there.
where the Grand Poobah works.
We're doing all sorts of stuff here today.
Yeah.
This is Dick Hewlett.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Through most of the building.
We're dubbing off some old reel-to-reel stuff here today. So.
Okay. So Studio 3, is this sort of like a utility studio, or what do you do mostly in here?
You can do voiceover in here, you can do dubbing, editing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, you have
We've actually
socials.
done live sportscasts out of here, and
Oh, wow. So, yeah, just right here.
it's small but very functional.
Yeah. This is the New
The
York
nerve
suite.
center. We call it the nerve
The
center.
nerve.
Because you're walking, you got to have a lot of nerve.
Dick's like the wizard behind the curtain in this room.
We even have a turntable. Look, you know, I'm telling you what.
Oh, man. Well, it's nice to see you, Dick.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Enjoy the tour.
I will.
Maybe we could say a word to Tina as well.
Oh, let's go say hi to Tina. This is the office. Hi, Tina.
Hi.
This is the reception area. Tina is the head honcho.
That's
She runs the show at Clayton Studios.
right. She does indeed.
We're just taking a tour of all the studios. Some really exciting things going on with the construction and the new gear. Yeah. So, what do we got here? Some awards and what have you from over the years.
What do we have here? Someone won the Silver Microphone Award.
Silver microphone. The Addies. Yeah. Dick Hewlett.
They won a Marconi Award. That's nice. Yeah.
Very cool.
A lot of this is.
We bought that brick for Dick for Christmas. It's at the stadium.
Oh, this brick
is that
here.
right?
We had it at the stadium.
Very cool. One thing that I like about Clayton Studios, when you walk in, you've got these comfortable, this couch and this big chair. They always have some chocolate for you.
That's everyone's favorite.
I'm going to
part,
take a
yeah.
couple of those. So that concludes our tour at Clayton Studios. I want to thank Michael Silverman for showing me around.
Well, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it.
This place has really changed a lot.
It's undergoing a lot of changes. Well, the business changes. We got to change with it.
Exactly. I worked here many years ago while I was going to school, and then recorded a lot of local bands here. And Dave Black and I just did a record here a couple years ago, and
Right.
I'm really happy with the changes. So,
Good. Well, thanks so much.
all right, thank you.
All
We'll
right.
probably see you on another video.
Sounds good.
We're going to talk about mastering.
Right.